Today, we're tearing down a really critical cyber threat report from KeysGuard and Night Owl, and trust me, what's inside is something you're going to want to see. So let's just jump right in.
All right, so the report kicks off with something that gets your attention immediately. The threat level is high. There's no sugarcoating it. The digital world is a pretty dangerous place right now, and this brief is about to tell us exactly why.
So, what are we actually up against? Well, the report zeroes in on 4 major threats that are being actively exploited right now. These aren't just theories or potential problems. These are happening in the wild as we speak.
And we're talking about some heavy hitters. We've got a huge bug in Microsoft's own update service and another one that lets attackers take over VMware systems. Then there's an easy-to-exploit hole in the XWiki platform. And on top of all that, the Killin ransomware group is turning up the heat, stealing data before they encrypted just to cause maximum pain.
Now this is where it gets really clear just how bad these are. The report actually scores them. Look at that WSUS vulnerability, an 8.8 out of 10. That's not just high, that's a perfect storm. It's easy to use, has a massive impact. It's about as serious as a vulnerability can get. So, knowing what the threats are is one thing. But how are attackers actually pulling these off? Understanding the playbook is the key to building a real defense. Let's break down exactly how these attacks unfold. First up is this RCE, or Remote Code Execution. The WSUS exploit is particularly nasty. The best way to think about it is like a hacker poisoning the central medicine cabinet that's supposed to send out cures, software patches, to an entire hospital network. They are literally turning your own update system against you.
And here's exactly how they do it. It's a 4-step dance. They hit the public-facing server. Then they trick the legitimate update service into opening up a backdoor for them. Once they're in, they immediately start snooping around, figuring out where they are and what they can steal. And for all the tech folks out there, here's the best part. The report doesn't just describe the attack, it gives you the weapon to fight back. This here is a Sigma rule. Think of it as the attacker's digital fingerprint. Your security team can take this right now and start hunting for this exact activity in your network.
Okay, now for that VMware issue. This one is a local privilege escalation, or LPE. The analogy here is perfect. Imagine a thief gets into a secure apartment building with the key to just one apartment. But then they find a flaw that gives them the superintendent's master key, the one that opens every single door. That's what this is.
And here's why this is so terrifying. An attacker gets a tiny foothold just on one virtual machine, and this bug lets them become the all-powerful root user, the admin of everything. From there, they can hide deep inside your systems, stealing passwords and data, and you'd probably never even know they were there. All right, enough of the scary stuff. How do we actually fight back? The good news is the report lays out a very clear, very actionable defensive playbook. No guesswork needed.
The main theme here is speed. This is a race. This isn't a "we'll get to it next week" list. The WSUS patch needs to happen now, today. And the VMware and XWiki fixes need to follow in the next day or two. The clock is absolutely ticking on this.
And patching isn't the whole story. The report also recommends these hardening actions. Think of this as locking your windows and bolting your doors, even after you've fixed the broken lock. You can block the specific tools they use to break in, stop data from being snuck out. These are the steps that make an attacker's job so much harder.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. What do all these different attacks tell us about the bigger picture? What's the major trend here that we need to be paying attention to?
The big takeaway? Everything is getting faster, and attackers are hitting us where it hurts the most. They're targeting the very systems we're supposed to trust, like our patch managers and our virtual environments. They're going after the foundations of our IT infrastructure because that's where they can cause the most chaos the most quickly.
I really want you to let this number sink in for a moment. Less than 60 minutes. That's the time it takes for an attacker to go from their first entry point to digging deep into other parts of your network. The speed is just breathtaking. It leaves almost zero room for error for the defenders.
So in the end, this whole intelligence brief is a massive wake-up call. Being proactive and patching fast, these aren't just best practices anymore, they're what it takes to survive. So the final question the report leaves us with is a simple one, but a really urgent one. Are you patched?